With the regular season finale upon us and the Carolina Panthers seemingly going home after the new year, will Dave Canellis and the coaching staff as well as its players attempt to be a huge roadblock to its opponent's playoff ambitions and to its playoff and division title ambitions? Or will they just roll into the offseason hoping that opposing teams come out victorious and improve their draft stocks? Or will the Panthers fall into oblivion with another horrible defeat with no results in the draft to show for it? Want to find out what Mr. CeeLo thinks? Stay tuned to find out on Growlin' and Prowlin'. Welcome back, all you growlers. Thank you so much for prowling with us for a little bit. Of course, you are joined by Mr. CeeLo. Want to give you guys a big growl out and a happy new year. Welcome to 2025. And if just want to give a short pause for the people and the families that were affected by that horrible set of events that happened on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. The individuals that were touched, individuals' lives that were touched by that horrible situation. Just let you guys know that our prayers are with you and thoughts. We hope you guys can recover and find solace and love in this situation, even in the face of such a horrible evil. Just know that our prayers here at Growlin' and Prowlin' are with you guys. Now, as we get ready to go into this finale, we are of one of two divisions that have not, well, actually three divisions that have not been, that will be settled going into the finale. There are three playoff positions remaining. Three of them have to do with divisions. One of them has already been decided. That remaining spot has already been decided, but it's basically who wins between the Lions and the Vikings is basically wrapped up that position, basically in a nutshell. We can play a part in that. But I must tell you, I don't see that happening. I think Canellis goes out and I think in a nutshell that the Carolina Panthers have done a good job in trying to, in a nutshell, give the fans that want to win the rest of their games hope instead of saying, okay, tank for the playoff pick, which I think ultimately that home win finale is going to cost us. It's going to cost us a couple of spots unless you get a couple of teams like New England who's able to win their finale, and Tennessee. Just a couple of teams that really don't have much to play for, but they're playing teams where they have the opportunity to win. And unfortunately, as I said, that Arizona Cardinals win is going to be about as costly as Steve Wilkes' run, and we didn't make the playoffs that year. It made us feel good, gave us a happy-go-lucky feeling amongst all the people around, but it didn't do us any good because we didn't get into playoffs, and then we ended up having to sell the farm and everything in it to get Bryce, which, as I said before, I was not with that. What all we gave up. If you watch the show, you know that already. But needless to say, we're in a situation where we've got to make good on at least getting in the top five. And I think ultimately the way we do that is we have to drop this game. What? And I know a lot of people are not going to like what I'm saying. I'm a realist, people. we can't go out here and as much as I want to spoil Atlanta's fun, I think Tampa Bay is going to handle this. As much as I think New Orleans would like to rally around its team, I don't think they have the weapons either. I think they're just so riddled with injuries, and it's going to be so doggone difficult to get that done. And I think that's where the entire issue with what you hearing on these Panther podcasts and these Panther channels, that's not what I like. I don't like to hear people that genuinely think they know football and they don't understand. It's not next man up mentality when you got guys. Listen, they're your top guys are paid a certain amount of money for a reason. With that being said, let's go down the injury list right now, shall we? We've got Lonnie Johnson, who's already been ruled out. Amari Barno, my boy, he's been ruled out. Ashawn Robinson is declared. I thought I heard somewhere where he was already declared out, but he's questionable. DJ Johnson, out. J.C. Horn, out. Josie Jewell, out. Xavier Legette, questionable. Miles Sanders is still on injured reserve, which I did hear something about. He could possibly be taken off and possibly play in this game on Sunday, which, in my opinion, it wouldn't make much difference anyway. But you guys are going to hear me all season going off about who needs to be in Carolina's backfield. Okay, no Scatterbo. We're not going to take we can't. Look, if running back was the only position, we did that last year with Brooks.
Bruh.
Can't do that. Robert Hunt, Taylor Moton, all questionable. And this is where, as you all know, Shaw Smith-Wade is already on injured reserve, along with Trevin Wallace, as well as you see Brooks and Ian Thomas, who's due to come back. And guys, let's just, in just my opinion, I think you go out, and I was listening to Julian Council say why we gave up on the run last week. Are you kidding?
Bruh.
Why don't you explain it to me?
We don't have anybody.
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question.
Chuba's on injured reserve, Sanders is on injured reserve, and Brooks is on injured reserve. You're left with a bunch of backups.
You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I know what many of you are going to say, well, next man up. Well, that's where you got to go out and get another guy. And I think it's too late in the season for them to even be thinking about that. But I do, like I said, have an answer. And if you guys watch the show, you know who I'm talking about. However, I think ultimately we just need to go in, try to put on a good show, and hopefully Tampa Bay handles its business. That's where I'm at. I'm not a Falcons. I can't stand the Atlanta Falcons. I live right here, smack dab in Georgia. This is our rival. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, they're my rival, but I only hate them when I play them. No. I can't. I despise Atlanta. I know a lot about them. And I want more than anything else for us to come out and win this game. But unfortunately, we're going to have to take the sweep on this one. I hate it too. Now, there is a possibility if Atlanta comes out and decides that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be the guy throwing it all over the field. We could get to him, but I don't see Atlanta doing that. I see they're going to probably Bijan. And judging by what our history has been over the last 16 games, I don't see us being able to stop that quality of back. I will say Atlanta's offensive line is not that intimidating, or it's not really that impressive, but Bijan is. For what it's worth. And then you've got guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London on the outside to do a phenomenal job getting him to the edge. So I think ultimately this is going to be a game where we're trying to get some things, but it's not going to be very much. I hope Bryce can hit a hook up with Jalen Coker, possibly Tommy Tremble, and as well as Jatavian Sanders, and of course Adam Thielen. That's what we need to be looking at. And I think ultimately we need to use Mike Boone and a couple of those guys, Raheem Blackshear. We need to be using these guys for setups to next year. And what I mean by that is Canellis needs to get into a habit of play action pass. If we're going to be a running team, and I've been saying this since he got here, if we're going to sit here and we're going to be a straight up running football team, we need to have at least 20 to 30% of our pass plays come out of play action or read option. And it would not. Bryce has held up this year, you guys. We got to give it to him. I'm going to say this right here. Bryce hit that dang weight room. Because this is what I want to see next year. I want to see more bootleg action, and I want to see more play action. And with the threat of Bryce Young running, that's what I want to see. He held up phenomenally this year, and he's proven so many of the naysayers. Panther Nation, we don't give Bryce enough credit. He has held up this year. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he didn't play for almost a third of the season. Very true. But he took some licks this year, and he held up. This guy has held up. We need to understand that the critics ain't always right. The Mel Kipers of the world ain't always right. Tom McShay especially, he's always wrong. When I hear Kiper and McShay go at it, if I got to choose between the two, I'm going with Mel Kiper. Now, when it comes to quarterbacks, Mel Kiper's been wrong a lot. I'm just going to be honest with you. He was definitely wrong about Will Levis. Just saying. But I'm not gonna put all that on him. But I'm gonna go to what I know, which is when I watch a kid in college, I don't care about all the evaluations. The evaluations don't mean anything to me. That's just like so many people said that Jonathan Mingo was gonna, and I wanted to see Mingo. Mingo looked good his rookie year. And this is why I got tired. Listen, if you're a Panther fan that you're going to give a guy 1 year and then don't deal with him, please, I don't care if you watch. Because the reality of it is, you're not going to make a good brisket in an hour. A good brisket takes time. It takes the right ingredients and it takes time, people. If any of you have ever cooked a good brisket, you know what it entails. Same thing with a good wide receiver. I don't care if he's a first-round pick. You got some of them that are proteges. Look at Marvin Harrison out there at Arizona. He had a couple of good games. Does that mean he wasn't worthy of the number one first-round grade? Rome Odunze showed flashes. That's a good question. Who was the number one wide receiver in this rookie class?
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
It's a very good question, my people. I'm just saying. I mean, we could sit here and we could go round and round. Maybe in the comments, tell me, you guys, who do you think was the number one rookie wide receiver this year? Put his name down in the comments. That's a great question. Listen, I know it's an NFL question, but I just like to throw things in there because it makes me wonder. Leggett was pretty good, but he struggled with drops. He had the potential to be a rookie of the year wide receiver. He did. But it's just the thing, Panther Nation. We did get a steal with the Cowboys and getting a 4th round pick, but you also got to look back at it too. We took a 2nd round pick to get this guy. That's not good. If you guys know me, I am a guy that loves to recycle picks. Even with Brian Burns, us getting 2 2nd round picks, we lost the 1st. It was just like the Josh Norman fiasco. If you're going to get rid of, you don't let a 6th round Pro Bowler walk out the door. That's bad management. You always have to get something out of it. That's just like the Cincinnati Bengals with T. Higgins. I ultimately believe, and if you watch my other show, guys, I explain this to you in detail, what I think the Cincinnati Bengals need to do. He was the number 1 2nd round pick. You always have to go into a situation realizing you got to get something for that. You don't let it walk out the door. I'm of the belief if you can't get a 1st round pick for your first, you got a problem. If you got to sign and put money on it, That's what you need to do. Because I'm a guy, yes, yeah, a lot of people are going to look at me and say, why would you do that? Well, because that first round pick is going to come with first contract money. So whatever money you're holding on to with that deal, that's going to even itself out, especially if that kid turns out to be a good player. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's if. Well, that's the risk and the gamble you make. If you get a guy that is a superstar and you wait too late. Just ask the Dallas Cowboys. But, guys, I ultimately think the Carolina Panthers should walk away from this game. Hopefully, Bryce Young is able to have a good game. Guys, our receiving core is able to have a good game. As I said, our offensive line looks like it's going to be patched together again with Brady Christensen getting the start yet again. And that's a guy we need to sign. We need to go ahead and get that out of the way. I know a lot of people say, well, he's a backup. No, he's a multi-dimensional backup. Yeah, Christensen's been a huge part, and Cade Mays. When you find two guys that can patch up your line, that's huge. Carolina wouldn't be nothing at this junction. People are going to say we're nothing now, but our offense would be a total dumpster fire had it not been for these two guys stepping in. But let me know what you guys think as the Carolina Panthers go into their finale against the Atlanta Falcons, hoping to play spoiler. Hit me up down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel any kind of sadness about this season? Do you feel any kind of emotion about me saying we need to just tank this game, or if it appears that we're tanking? Also, go to the Facebook page at Growlin' and Prowlin'. Go to the Facebook page at Growlin' and Prowlin'. Also, keep up with me during the offseason. I've got one more show before the season ends. I've actually got two. I've got to upload the show from last week after the Tampa Bay loss, and then we've got some other things that we're going to try to do. I'm going to be more active this year, you guys, doing many things before the draft, before free agency, finding out what we can and what moves we can and can't make, what moves we need to make. Also, go to my Instagram at Mr. CeeLo. Find out what other things I'm going to be caught up in. If you know about my All Access NFL Network channel, you can go there and find out what I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to ultimately do with T. Higgins. That is up today. As we've got a double header today of AFC North proportions. That division will be settled today. And finally, go to my And finally, if you guys have any questions or any concerns or any things that you would like for me to mention on the air, remember, if you guys mention anything, you guys will end up behind me on my wall as well. And I'm still working on that shirt, you guys. As soon as the season's over, I'm probably going to have it ready. Just continuously keep up with me. You guys that keep following me and putting comments down there, you guys know you're going to go into the box. And as for the ones that are subscribed that have not contacted me, I will go back through all my shows and make sure I got who has put themselves down in the comments, and let me know who you are, because I want you to have it. I'm trying to get it in that old Carolina Panthers script, the original, that animal script. I'm working my butt off trying to get it done. I'm not a very good artiste, and I'm having trouble trying to find someone to print the shirt for me. So hopefully when I get all those things situated, it'll hopefully be around right before the draft so you can sport that thing. I'm definitely going to be wearing it. But hopefully you guys had a great new year. You are all safe, happy, and healthy. Till the next time, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.